I usually have music. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Bot Signal. My name is RJ Redden, and I know you already know me. Today, we're interviewing a superstar. I mean, let's just admit it. Nathan Decker here is, I will of course allow him to introduce himself, but he's doing some amazing stuff in my community. And particularly now, let's highlight all the good stuff that's going on in our communities, shall we? And I have been chatting with this one over LinkedIn. He seemed like a perfect person to come on the show and talk about all of the good his organization does. Nathan, please say hi to the people and tell them all about what you do.
Hey guys, my name is Nathan Decker. I'm the Student and Employer Engagement Coordinator for AIM Code School. We are under the AIM Institute umbrella of the nonprofit, and our mission is to connect, grow, and inspire the tech talent community through our educational programs, as well as our community engagement and nonprofit services that we implement into the community, starting at the, elementary level. So our whole focus is really to get kids inspired into tech, whether it's coding a robot or flying a drone or, working on some type of coding, activities, and get them interested in technology to the point where they can then focus on that as a career path once they, get to junior high, high school. And our program here, AIM Code School, is able to offer these educational services, maybe after you graduate high school or maybe your senior year, and into, it's more of an adult educational program. So, our whole mission is focused from, sparking that younger generation into technology, all the way to being able to provide adult educational programs for the industry now, to be able to upgrade your skills and or change your career path.
Well, in technology, it seems like, well, of course, I'm going to feel this way, but technology it's in everything. So knowing how to create those building blocks, at least conceptually, and certainly further if you want to, educate yourself more, it seems like that is so sorely needed. And so what interested you in doing the work that you do? What drew you to go? And for those of you who don't know the AIM Institute, let's start with that one, because this goes everywhere, and I want everybody to know about AIM. Can you explain a little bit about the Institute overall?
Yeah, so the AIM Institute is a nonprofit. It's been around about 26 years now. Started in '92. We actually created the first job platform, online job platform, CareerLink. So CareerLink started in 1996, and it was the first of its kind in terms of being able to post positions as well as look for positions online. So we kind of started this innovative back history with this one product, and that kind of launched us into the future of being able to provide these larger scale services towards the educational community, from elementary to high school, as well as provide community events to Omaha, Nebraska, like Infotech, HDC, Heartland Developers Conference, and Tech Celebration. And each of these unique events are focused on certain areas of technology, as well as, Tech Celebration is really an overall celebratory event for people who have done, some amazing feats in technology in the Omaha, maybe Midwest area. For example, last year we gave an award to a high school student that created a 3D printing code, open source code, that he then gave to anybody with a 3D printer to be able to print prosthetics, for for people with limb deficiencies and things in different countries that maybe don't have the accessibilities to these either technologies or medical equipment. So they're able to efficiently and cheaply make these prosthetics with the 3D printers. So, that's just something that kind of definitely, throughout the last few years of me just being in the tech space in Omaha, and seeing AIM with these events and some of these really cool things that they're doing with the community, it definitely made me interested enough to jump on board with them and see what they're all about. So I actually started with the CareerLink side, and I was helping with the sales of CareerLink. And then there was an opportunity to get into the AIM Code School side, and I definitely saw the kind of innovative pivot in myself, being able to kind of really get more into a certain industry of tech and understand it, and realizing it's actually almost the backbone of the tech industry. Coding is everything. It makes everything do what it's doing. So it made me realize that Omaha not only has a tech talent shortage, but this could be a small solution for helping fill that gap of tech talent. So
yeah, well, and to me, I know for sure. I was looking at jobs when I graduated in I graduated in 12 with my master's. But I went back to school. I went through for undergrad with an entirely different thing, but I went back to school because tech degree. Because holy moly, I needed doors to open that just weren't gonna open up naturally. Knowing how, at least the basics, the fundamentals of coding, of technology, it gives you so much power. So when you are, when you're with the folks in code school, from the young ones all the way up, how do you begin? How do you approach teaching these coding fundamentals, these methods?
It's definitely, I've realized personally, it's coding is definitely not for everybody. There is a certain type of person, maybe a group of people that are a little bit more inclined to seeing themselves do this on the daily, as a job, and being able to help companies, with these skill sets. So to really get interest and kind of gauge the interest as well, for me, is really just offering the information on the job opportunities, really. So it's like, hey, like, would you want to make $80,000 to $150,000 a year, and these are the type of skills that you need to learn. Do any of these types of skills interest you, and can you see yourself really getting into this as a career path? And it's kind of, there's two ends really. For us, we have the foundations of web development, which is going to focus on that front end, the design aspect more so, of a website, of a web application, of really whatever you're dabbling in. So we teach in that course, there's HTML, CSS, and a little bit of JavaScript. So again, more of those front end languages, no real programming languages, really just more languages focused on design and building the structure and the skeleton, right? So, that's kind of the way I kind of pitch that to students and say, hey, do you like the visualization of things? Do you like being able to visualize something, and you want to make it the picture in your head on the screen, as your landing page? Maybe you have a relative or somebody that needs a website built, and you have this really visual mindset to where you can say, oh, I can take your idea and your picture and write it in code and put it on the screen to really captivate the audience that you want to captivate, with your message or your pictures or whatever you're trying to portray on that landing page. So maybe if you're not so much on that visual and that front end thinking and the design, wanting to dabble in the design aspect of building a website, maybe you're more about the structure and knowing that this piece of code will make this work on the back end, so more of that Java programming mindset. If you're more into, I know that this makes this work, so if I do this, it'll do this. Writing really the structure of the programming on that back end, making sure links work, and all of those things that are on the front end, and you see them, but you don't really see how they work and what they're doing, to be able to give that information and input it somewhere for the back end user to be able to receive and get and utilize and do things with. So that's kind of more for a different type of person, really. So explaining, for me as a non-technical person, I've gone through a little bit of the foundations, so I understand HTML, CSS. I understand Java a little bit as a programming language, but I don't understand all of that back end. There's a lot of back end languages and programming languages, and Java, I would say, is the most utilized at this point in time, but there's definitely a handful that are gaining a large traction in being utilized in different companies, legacy, startup, different types of companies. So I'm still learning, but trying to get them to understand the difference of each mindset and each kind of maybe path they would like to take in the web development or even just technology industry. Letting them know that they can understand the different parts of code that make other things work in the intranet of things or the internet of things, and really understanding how a phone works, and how an app really works and how it gets built. And these are becoming things that a lot of people want to know about, and I feel like if you start to learn them, you're heading in the right direction for when AI is going to be implemented into a lot of things and could possibly take your job. And if you already, are getting into where these skill sets are needed for AI type positions, you're setting yourself up for a long, success in the long term, and job security wise is not going to be an issue when that you understand these fundamentals of coding. And we also work with Omaha Data Science Academy, and they offer AI courses, machine learning, AI, and they're more on the data science, data analyst type modules, but they offer those classes and they're accredited as well under our accreditation. So I feel like coding and machine learning and AI, all of these things are definitely going to be hireable skill sets in the future, especially when AI does replace a lot of different types of positions. They're actually, I was just talking to my AI partner the other day, and he said there's going to be an AI babysitter position. The AI programming won't be able to do everything. It will need some physical human to look over the programming, make sure that the bugs are getting fixed, and things are being maintained on the back end. So again, AI won't replace everything. There'll still be positions revolving more around AI and what it can do, and what we're able to do on being able to help with that. So don't be too afraid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, can you tell me in your time of being of doing code school, can you give me a story of one of your great successes?
Yeah, definitely. Just recently, so I've been in this position for about 9 months, and within that 9 months, there has definitely been more than a handful of, really cool success stories from students that, either were coming from different types of backgrounds or, different types of income levels, and being able to leave a certain position and get into this course, and being able to, look for a different position that can help them and their family, provide more for their family and things of that nature. And one that really sticks out is his name is Jordy, and he came from South Omaha High School, and he was a graduate from South Omaha High, and one of our previous, I would say, faculty members, very largely known in the tech community, Shauna Dorsey. Her name, she came to South O to just talk to them about AIM Code School, and at that time it was called Interface, and she was just explaining just some of the different courses that we offered and some of the different career paths that are available after the course, and how we help with job placement assistance and things like that. So this got him so interested to where he applied for the course, got into it, passed the course with flying colors, and not only did a really good job in completing all the assignments and everything on time, but actually was able to help other students along the way, and really developed this team atmosphere within the course that really stood out to us, to the point to where we asked him to come back to actually teach the course. Parts of it, we had a full-time instructor, but there were definitely parts where we knew he was very knowledgeable on, and he could actually, kind of substitute for some of these lessons within the course. So he actually became a part-time student teacher for us for almost a year. And after about a year of us helping him with different interviews and different things like that, he did end up getting a position. We got him a position at Appsky Labs. So Appsky is a local app designer company here in Omaha, and they're a small startup with about 5 to 7 people on their team. And he stayed there for about 6 or 7 months, and definitely put his front end foundation of web development skills to the test, and probably added on to those, I would assume, with the work he was doing with Appsky. So not only did he gain experience with them, but he gained enough experience in really just being able to utilize his skills that he got through AIM Code School, being able to land that tech role through AIM Code School that lasted almost a year. And this built his resume up to where he landed a job recently at Mutual of Omaha in the web dev department. And, that was kind of his dream job, his goal job of really what he wanted through this class. He wanted to be able to get with a legacy company in town that had a lot of stability and a lot of benefit opportunities and competitive pay that could really help him go from, he was washing dishes and doing whatever he could really to, put money on the table and put food on the table for his family. He came from a family of immigrants, and some of them weren't able to get legal jobs, and so he was the only legal person in his family, so that was able to actually get a job and provide for his family. So, it's just a cool story to really know that this course can not only offer the opportunity to upgrade your skills and learn something new that's very in demand right now, but also, we're willing to go above that and help you get placed somewhere. I have personally been able to place people in front-end web developer positions, or junior full stack positions, and I feel great about that, because I'm like, these employers are actually valuing this certification that they're getting through us, and and they're valuing the skill sets that they're learning through our courses. So, it just makes me feel good that we're providing something of value, and that is really actually, providing hireable skill sets to these employers. Because, front end web developers, full stack developers are probably one of the most in demand jobs right now, in the tech space. And, it coincidentally, they also pay they're almost one of the top paying positions in the tech space. So, front end web developers can, coming out of the Foundations of Web Development course, it's usually a 10-week course, twice a week, 4 hours a night, so 8 hours a week for 10 weeks. Gives you those skill sets to be able to get into a position that can really, you can start at an entry level making $40,000 to $60,000 a year, and that's entry level. That's starting. So, taking a 10-week course and being able to get into that position, if you compare that to a 4-year degree, you're almost in the same ballpark. So, actually, I know friends personally that have gotten degrees and they're still struggling trying to find that position, with a salary more than 35K, so, and these degrees should be making more than that, but, and especially right now during this economy, I mean, it's just, these skill sets are providing you, enough valuable skill sets, or these courses are providing you enough valuable skill sets that can also be utilized remotely. So a lot of these positions that are being offered, coding can be done anywhere. So I have friends that do this all over the world, and they work for a specific company, or they're a freelancer and they do freelance work for all these different companies throughout the world. And they themselves are able to make enough money to travel the world and work from anywhere. And it's kind of a cool lifestyle. If I wasn't, living that Midwest, trying to raise a family here type of lifestyle, which I am all about, I would definitely consider that,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very intriguing. So, there's definitely a lot you can do with these skills, other than just, land an in-demand job. So
Absolutely. I mean, the possibilities are endless. Gone are the days when you went to learn how to code and it was all just one thing, that it was all just one language or just one way to do things, or working on just one area of a business. People need coders on the front end, people need coders on the back end, people need coders in the marketing. I mean, they need coders everywhere in a company. And so thinking about, it's all just one thing, hopefully that's one myth that we busted today for people.
Yeah.
And another one being the only thing that you can get, the only place that you can get a job is this. You can get a job anywhere doing anything. These skills are portable, transferable. 80 hours at code school, 80 hours, people, can put you on a whole different path for your life.
Yeah.
And when's the last time we said that about, a college degree, which I have 3. So, I went that way for sure.
I mean, I did too. I definitely did too. I was more in that entrepreneurial kind of business sort of mindset. So I got my earliest degree and I kind of got out while I could. I was like, all right, 2 years is good enough for me. I knew that I needed to go out and chase the real thing and get that real life experience, so, but, this is also that hands-on experience, so we're trying to implement different things with different companies. I had a politician, Paul Anderson. I don't know what he's running for, but he came to the school about a week ago and asked if the students could help them or help him, build his landing page for his political campaign, right? So there's always different opportunities, not always politically influenced ones, but there's always different opportunities that we're trying to give to our students, whether it's a company or a local person that's trying to get something built, and we implement that into their capstone project or their final project. So it's not your traditional class where there's, you open up the book and the instructor says, go to page whatever. It's definitely hands-on, and there's a lot of code challenges, done in class and out of class. And we try to implement a lot of that team atmosphere, because with a lot of companies, you get into a web dev team, and it's a team. I mean, you're not in your silo. You need to know this person's working on this part of the code, and this person's working on this, and this is my part, and we're all working together to get this one goal or job completed, right? So we try to implement that as much as we can, within the core.
Nice. I got somebody saying here, some time ago, I had the pleasure of designing and teaching Intro to Python for data science for Code School. Excellent, excellent stuff. And there's just, it's hard to think of a more versatile skill than coding. Yeah. And knowing about not just even the code itself, but knowing how things are structured. See, I'm not a coder. It is not my thing. But when I look at a computer program, I can see the underlying logic behind everything, and I know how to manipulate that logic to make something that I want to make. I've always had this weird skill, and it has served me so well in life. It has served me so well in life. And I just want to give a shout out to everybody working at AIM up here in Omaha. Do you have any capability for online students, or is it all local?
So yeah, right now we went fully online. So like our next class is coming up. Actually, one of them started today. Another one starts on the 27th, and then I think we'll be creating one, just because there's actually enough interest. We'll be creating another one in the second week of June. So if you look us up on aimcodeschool.org, you'll see our courses there, and then we list all of our upcoming dates for each course. May 5th is our next Java course. That'll be taught online. And again, Foundations of Web Development our next course will be the 27th of April. It's actually a truncated version of our 10-week course. So, sorry. We partnered up with Urban League of Nebraska and Heartland Workforce Solutions to provide this small-scale program called Career and Tech Placement. They go through a 2-week career readiness training boot camp with Urban League of Nebraska, and then they go through Heartland Workforce Solutions to find grant funding for our Foundations of Web Development course. So altogether, it's a 7-week program, and we mostly offer it to lower income backgrounds and areas around the North Omaha community. Right for now, we will be offering this type of program to a larger public base, or a larger community base here in the future. But right now, it's a pilot, so we're just trying it in these areas. And this is our second pilot, so it's actually 5 weeks of Foundations of Web Development, Monday through Thursday, 1 to 5, for only 5 weeks. So that's coming up on the 27th. And really with that, I open that up to the public as a course. So, it might be a part of this larger program, But since we only have about 6 or 7 people doing the online course portion of the AIM Code School side, I end up opening that up to the public. Hey, if you're interested in a 5-week course, Monday through Friday, obviously you might have some time on your hands, during those type of hours. If you're unemployed or maybe have been let go or have different hours, or maybe you're a student, we have different payment plan options, but also I really try to utilize WIOA, which is Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act grant, through Heartland Workforce Solutions. So that is a grant that provides up to $6,000 in funding, and we are one of the accredited training programs under that grant. So if you're interested in that, definitely hit us up, and we can kind of point you in the right direction and get you in the process of seeing if you're eligible for that funding. Our courses are $5,500 for the foundations and $6,500 for the Java. But right now we're definitely working with a lot of students on being able to offer customized payment plans. I just awarded $2,500 in scholarships from AIM to a student the other day. So we're offering scholarship funding. And then we're also, getting you involved in that process of WIOA to see if you could be eligible for that funding as well. So, we're really trying to make this a low bar entry, low barrier entry program to anyone that is interested in, in getting in more info or getting involved. So, definitely know that we're not trying to, be a stickler on that price point. At this time, we're definitely willing to look over more scholarship applications than normal, just because of, the situation. So we're definitely trying to help in that regard as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's, I hope we've gotten across. There's a plethora of opportunity. If you live in and around Omaha, there's a lot of stuff available at aimcodeschool.org. Go hit that website up. Go check it out. This is not just for, it's not just one certain personality type. It's not, I have to be really skilled at this subject to be able to get this. Not at all. All different types of personalities work on this thing, and this is a skill that will not only help you for the rest of your life, but it's a skill that can never be taken away from you. These folks are great. They're offering it reasonably, and they'll see you through. That job placement thing is awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
Absolutely. That's one of my favorite parts of my job, definitely, is being able to match make, not only just getting someone a position, but getting a student that went through a course of mine a position. That makes all the difference in showing them that what we taught them is hireable. And that just makes me feel good, and knowing that we have a good product, and we have not only a good product, but with CareerLink, we've been able to make connections with thousands of local businesses. We can, we still have a list of employers that are hiring right now. So, even during this time, there are still positions open, and they're being filled. And web developers are definitely still in demand. It's not gonna go away anytime soon. Yeah.
No, it's only going to grow. And from what I've seen of the AI industry and natural language understanding, all of that stuff, those needs are only going to grow, and those skills are only going to get more valuable.
Yep.
So, well, my friend, we have gone over, because we've been so passionate and excited about helping people. And I'm honored to have you on the show. You can come back any old time. and talk about what you do. Boy, I do want to thank you. If is there, can you give us a little, just a little summary, something that if people are listening, just a little, just some little gift, some little hook that they can kind of hang on to, just a little summary about what's going on.
Yeah, so really, even just me being here and being on this show and talking about what we're talking about, this is all to provide very in-demand skill sets, from regional experts around the area as instructors, to really give you the opportunity to change your life, change your career, or upgrade your current skill set. That is to be involved in this very relevant industry, this very up and coming industry, that will set you up for success, not in just the short term, but the long term.
Yeah. Nathan Decker, couldn't be more pleased to have you today. Thank you for coming on. Yeah, you bet. It was so great to talk to you. Well, that's about it for today, Bot Signal fans. Tomorrow I'll be back, and I'll be talking about all things chatbot because that's what I do. In the meantime, hit up that website, see what opportunities are there for you. Even if you're not from Omaha, hit up the website anyway.
Yeah.
Because there may be something in your own community that you haven't even thought of checking out. So do it. Do yourself a favor, because do that thing. It's certainly, knowing the coding basics has certainly done so much for me. So that's all for today, my friends. Thank you for stopping by, and as always, I will see you in a bot.
See you guys.